All right, so I want to take the time to talk about Need for Speed Underground 2 for the GameCube. I am emulating it on the using the Sur 8 mini PC and then using Dolphin emulator on a PS4 controller. But yeah, this game has a lot of nostalgia for me. I really enjoyed this game when I was in, I think it was probably the first year of high school, freshman. But yeah, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, please leave a comment. Thank you. Um, yeah, I'm gonna kind of. So, what I like about this game is that it was like my introduction to open world video games. So, at that point, I can't think of one. Grand Theft Auto, I think. So definitely Grand Theft Auto. I played that. I played 2 a lot on the first PlayStation, and then I played, 3 and Vice City. So about this time, probably a little bit after, this game, the first one came out, and I played, Need for Speed Underground 1 a lot. I made a video on that, check that out. But then, so the second game, I played, when it came out then because I loved it, the first one so much, and they just kind of like expanded on everything in the game. So a lot of the stuff that they had in the first game, they just expanded on it more. More rim selection, more paint selections, more vinyls, more cars. They have way more cars, different variety of cars, more upgrades for your cars, more neon choices. They added like nitrous smoke that you can shoot out. They added the ability to customize the trunk to make systems and speaker, licensing that they got. They have different types of pulsing neons. They did suicide doors, spinners. They made it so it was more like hip hop and like racing oriented during that time. Like Pimp My Ride was out and stuff. So they added and they kind of went more into the customization. And this game, as an open world game goes, it's really fun because they just kind of throw you in with a nice car, and then you get to pick like a crappy car because that one gets, impounded or whatever, or that the lady doesn't let you borrow it anymore. So you go and you're trying to street race through the underground and figure out, race to the top. But yeah, they have the levels and the missions or whatever, the races are similar to the original one where they have, drag racing, they have the circuit racing, they have the sprint racing, and then they have the drift racing. So it's nice that they include that stuff inside this open world game. So you drive around and there are other racers that you can race to get money, and then you can go into each mission and race outside of the open world also. So it's really nice to have that. You drive there, then open up into the mission. They got replays. They have, it saves automatically. That you can save all your cars. You get multiple slots for cars, and then you can go back and upgrade all of your cars individually, like not inside the underground mode. So you can just have a whole army of cars that you are tuned and they look the exact way that you want them to look. So I really thought that that was cool. There's a lot of depth to the mechanics and to the customization. I didn't really get into like the tuning or whatever. You can drive auto or manual transmission. Like, it's really a good game that they spent a lot of time getting licensing. NOS, all the brands for racing brands and stuff. It's almost like it's sponsored by, racing companies to try to sell their stuff, which is pretty crazy if you think about like the illegal street racing scene. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, there is a lot to do in this game. A lot of different types of races. Like right now, the video that I'm showing, it's drifting, and there is a lot of different courses of drifting, and there are a lot of different ways that the cars handle through the drifting. And as you upgrade them, some cars get too powerful, and you have to like learn how they drift and what buttons to press, because there's the handbrake and there's the actual brake. So if you get too much speed and you're hugging, the wall too much, you got to slow it down a little bit. Like, it's really deep, and the mechanics are sound, and like you can tell that this drifting mechanic is in like a totally different type of level design. So it like the car handles way differently than it would out on the street. Like you can't just do these drifts out on the street like this. So it's on like a drift track, and then it's a different mechanical level. So when you go to the drift tracks, it's different than it is if you drag race. Drag racing feels differently when you're racing it. It has a different mechanic. You have to time your things. You have to time your shifts, and you have to time your ability to shift and use your NOS and change lanes, because it's more of like a lane based race, which I actually really enjoy. And I wish that these drag races, I wish it happened in other games. Like imagine like a Superman game where like you're starting to get your powers back, and then you basically are doing like this drag race, but it's separate. It has a Superman theme to it, but he's dodging between buildings or whatever, and then you have your NOS, you have your focus or whatever that you could do, and then so it would just be like more of like not on rails, but like in a lane that you're in, and then you can switch to kind of dodge stuff. And I think it would be cool just to have like to showcase some of his powers or whatever. But I don't know, I always think about like how a Superman game would be, and it's like, yeah, well, he can just fly around, so it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't really but like to have something like that where it's like this drag race thing and you can easily mess up, I don't know, it just would be cool. So I do like the drag racing. I like the car selection. I like the story is trash. It's utter trash, but it's okay. Like, you're not here for the story. You're here to try to race underground. There's plenty of different skins or like hardware or whatever you can put on the vehicle to make it look different. Like the one that I'm racing with, the Sentra right now or whatever, like that back, bumper, it's all like different looking. And so you can customize it to how you would like, change all the paint jobs, change all the rim sizes, the rim designs. You can change the brake calipers, upgrade the engine. You can have a hood that opens up like when you go to take pictures or whatever. The trunk that opens up and has a system in the back of it with neons. Like, it's pretty cool. It's fun and it's enjoyable to do that stuff. One thing I will say is like, I do suck at the racing part of this game. Drag racing, I'm alright. The drifting, I'm good. It's like, for some reason, these out in like the circuit racing or whatever, I just always hit walls. Like, I think I'm just going too fast overall, and I don't know if new video games, you don't really, as I play them, I don't really hit the brake button that much. This one, I feel like you do need to hit the brakes a lot on it, and it's like you slow almost way down when you're taking turns, and it's kind of interesting to see. Or maybe I just had the settings weird, or I just suck. Like, it's fine. Like, I do enjoy playing the game, and I do enjoy the game, so regardless of if I'm good or not, it doesn't matter. It's just a fun kind of style to play. It's a fun experience. It's nice. The trees, bad. The buildings in that back left over there, bad. The water physics, the road physics, the signs, they're good. Like, the stuff isn't terrible. The car, it looks great. It looks amazing. Like, you just hit that sign, like, it's not bad. It's just not polished to perfection like some of these games are now. But, like, yeah, the trees over there, and then, like, that sign that went across, and the water and that thing, like, it's not great, but it does the job. You know what the stuff is. It's not like you don't know what it is, and the frames are solid, so it's a solid frame rate, and the controls are tight and snappy, and you have your NOS, and then that'll recharge slowly throughout the race if you do more tricks or whatever. It slows down, kind of shows you when you go into the air. Like, it's a good game. It's fun. It's beautiful in its own kind of like bootleg way. I feel like it was great for the time when you're on a CRT TV. Like, when this the game came out 2004 or whatever, like they were on a CRT. You can't really notice all these details. You know what they are, but you're not gonna like crystal clear vision have a nice view of it back then. So it's cool kind of upscaling it. Like, I was playing it at 4K. It's going to downscale it to 1080 because I'm recording it and then putting it to YouTube, so it's not going to be the same way that I saw it on my monitor. But it's a great game. I recommend giving either 1 or 2 a try, and just like you can even download save files and load them up onto the internet. But yeah, or onto the Dolphin emulator, and then you can just like have that profile, and you don't even have to do all of this stuff, but you can just customize to your heart's content, and you can try every race. But yeah, anyways, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I appreciate you. Thank you.